Hello. Oh my goodness. We are currently experiencing a blizzard and I have a whole story to tell you of what happened this morning. We have Shadow here who's gonna be joining us for our little chat today, our little story time. Shadow's very vocal right now, but I needed some chicken cuddles for moral support because that was incredibly stressful. Hello everyone and welcome back to Humble Heart Horsemanship. My name is Sabryna. This is Shadow, like I told you. That's Gunner. Gemini is over there, but you can't really see him except for his butt. But anyway, I'm going to be sharing with you what has been happening over the past 2 days because it has been crazy here. The first thing you guys should know is about 4 days ago, I noticed that there was snow on the forecast. And I got really excited because this is our very first snow here in Wyoming at our new house. And I was so excited, and I am excited, and I love the snow. So day before yesterday, are you gonna be talking this whole video? Yeah? 2 nights ago, it started snowing at night. And it was just like a little bit of snow, super pretty, but it was sticking. Yesterday, we were supposed to get 6 inches of snow, and we got 6 inches of snow. And that was really not all that we got though, because it kept snowing, and it kept snowing, and it kept snowing, and it kept snowing. And it was super pretty, and I was so excited, and I love the snow. And then it was so much snow, it was so beautiful, but the snow was still manageable with the horses and everything. If you guys don't know Gunner and Gemini's setup right now, they basically are on a fairly small fenced-in dry lot with a 3-sided shelter. And I was like, oh yeah, this will be fine, like we'll see how it goes. So yesterday it's snowing all day, it's still manageable, I could still go out there and feed them and walk through it and everything, and their trough hadn't even frozen over. It had like some slushy pieces in it, but it hadn't frozen over, so I was removing the slushy pieces from the trough. Everything was good. I fed them at about like 6:37, checked on them, everything was good. They got extra hay since it's cold, and horses eat to help them stay warm. And then I went to bed, and then I ended up waking up at 4 in the morning for various reasons. The first reason was that my curtain rod in my bedroom fell off of my window, so it literally hit the ground, and it scared my cat London, and he jumped up in the air like 4 feet, and then I was awake for a while. So I was feeling a little bit anxious because when I looked outside of my window, because the curtain had fallen down, it was almost like God was like, look at the weather, you need to analyze what's going on. And I was like, oh my God, because it was basically a blizzard outside. We're talking tons of wind with both like freezing rain and then also snow. And it literally looked like I was in the middle of a blizzard. And I was like, okay, well, it's 4 in the morning. There's really no point in me going outside right now if I can wake up in like 2.5 hours and then go out and check on the horses. So then comes this morning when I get my whole gear on, I have even my ski goggles on, I'm prepared. I have all of my winter gear out, and I go outside. And what's interesting, because there's so much wind here in Wyoming, is when it snows, it doesn't just like snow evenly on the ground, it will snow heavily in some places, and in other places it will be pretty shallow snow. So that was interesting because you're walking, you're like, oh, this is manageable, and then you look to the left or to the right, and there's like a literally snow up to your waist. Like that's how high the snow is. And so I'm like, okay, so I'm walking out of the barn. As I get closer to the horse's dry lot, I notice that the main entrance gate into their dry lot is practically covered with snow, almost to the top. I'm like, I can't get through there. I can't even shovel through there. The horses are still in their dry lot at this time. Look at Gunner's little nose up there. And then I'm like, okay, well, I need to get to the horses. Like, I need to bring them inside. I had not realized how bad this is. I mean, it is like blizzard. Their dry lot is covered about half in snow up to my waist, and I'm pretty tall. I'm about 5'8". And so I'm like, okay, shoot, I need to go to the other side, to the other far gate, because that gate only had about 2 feet of snow. So I go over there and I have my halter, and the horses are freaking out. I mean, Gunner over here, he was trying to walk through snow that was like 5 feet tall. And I was like, buddy, you can't make it. You're only 14 two hands. You're very small. Gemini was kind of trying around, and he ran into the shelter a few times to hide. And one side of the shelter was covered with some snow. The other side was not covered in snow, but really slippery in there. So I was like, okay, need to get Gunner out first. And my goal was to bring them both into the barn because I knew that the winters were like this here when I had done my research before we moved here. And so I had spent a lot of money building these stalls behind me because of that reason. I wanted the horses to have a safe, warm, comfortable place, a dry place to, stay when the weather's really bad like it gets here in the winter. So I had so much gratitude for the fact that I have these stalls in this barn, and I have so much gratitude for this barn because it's very warm in here in comparison to outside. So anyways, I'm like trying to pull this gate open over like 2 feet of snow. I managed to get the gate open about like 2 feet wide, was as much as I could get it, even with my shovel. That in the meantime is like trying to fly away. Like my shovel is like in the air. It was crazy because it's so windy. So I managed to get Gunner's halter on. Gemini wanted to follow Gunner out, but I was like, you can't go, I can only do one at a time. I'm so grateful that I have horses that are fairly calm in situations that are stressful, and that they've been, handled and trained so much by me that I'm just saying easy, easy, and I'm trying to calm them down because you can tell they're stressed. They've never been through snow conditions like this before, ever. They've seen snow and they've been in snow, but never more than a foot of snow ever in their lives living in Oregon. So I was super proud of them. I get Gunner. We're walking up to the barn. It's a fairly short walk, but in like tons of feet of snow, it's very difficult. And so I get Gunner inside his stall over here, and I left him a little bit of hay, and then I run out to go get Gemini. Gemini at this point is kind of freaking out because Gunner is inside, and I'm like freezing my butt off. So Gemini comes up to me and he's kind of pushy, acting like he's gonna push through the gate. And I was like, you're not gonna trample me right now. So I ended up having to go into the shelter to halter him because that's where he was at when he ran away when I told him not to be pushy. And I got his halter on, let him out, brought him in here, and once I closed that door to my right over there and the horses were inside the barn, I felt so relieved. It is crazy out there. It's insane. I've never seen this kind of like winter weather conditions before. I feel like I'm in Alaska. And it's such an adventure, it's so fun, but that was so stressful. And another concern was that the horses, their water trough that I checked just last night was completely covered in like 4 or 5 feet of snow. I couldn't even see it. So I added a little bit extra water in both of the horses' grain. I soaked their grain anyways, to help them stay hydrated all year long, but I added a little bit more so that way they would get a little bit more water into their bodies. And then Gunner, right before I started this video, he was drinking out of his water trough that I put in the stall. So it has been a crazy morning. It is only, I think it's like 8:45 right now. So the day really has started for me, but it's the very beginning of the day technically. So the horses also were shivering a little bit when I brought them in, which is the horse's natural response to, trying to keep themselves warm when they are cold. It's them shaking their body up and warming themselves up. Gemini was shaking, Gunner was shaking a little bit. Once they got in here after 5 minutes, they stopped shaking. They are eating a bunch of hay right now. I added a bunch of shavings into their stalls, and I was so grateful that I had finished laying down the horses' stall mats just the day before yesterday because their stalls are all set up for them now. So I'm like very happy that I did all that because if I hadn't done that, that would have been like even more stressful than this is now. But everyone's good. The chickens, like Shadow here, are doing great. They all seem to be pretty happy. I gave them extra hay inside their little nesting boxes, and they have extra layer feed and also extra oats, and I just cleaned their water. So everyone's doing good inside the barn. I have so much gratitude for this barn. I'm so happy it's here. I don't know how people can live in Wyoming and have livestock and just have, horses, goats, sheep, chickens, whatever, without having a barn of some sort that's like fairly well made and weatherized, because like that's just crazy to me. I know that horses are very sturdy and very strong animals and that they can acclimate to cold weather conditions and stuff. I do know that, but my horses just came from Oregon, so this is a process for them to get used to the weather here. This is their first winter, as well as myself. I'm getting used to the weather here too, and I feel like this is a good trial run to have, even though it's only October, because we're starting to figure out like what to expect. You know, like when it's -20, -30, that's gonna be a whole different scenario too. So I just want to jump on and have a little chat with you guys and just give you an update on how this winter storm is playing out so far. And I'm just grateful that the horses are doing good and they're inside their stalls. I'm gonna run inside and spend most of the day inside because you really can't do much when the weather's this crazy. But thank you guys so much for sitting down and listening to me talk. I hope you did enjoy it. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure that you scroll down. Can I do this with one hand? Let's see. Scroll down, hit that like button, and subscribe for more videos like this. And Gunner over here and Gemini, who you cannot see, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed just listening to me have a little chat about how this winter storm is playing out. It's crazy that it's only October and we're just getting a little taste of what the winter will be like, and I'm really excited to see what will come. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure, let's see if I can do this with one hand, make sure that you scroll down, hit that like button, and subscribe for more videos like this. And Shadow, Gunner over there, and Gemini, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.